Hey guys, Claylex here. I didn't want to make this ramble review after only 4 to 5 hours of playing the Callisto protocol, but I don't got a choice in the matter. I gotta say my piece, because after going for various reviews and just really thinking it and debating and arguing and screaming, yelling over my head, I gotta say it up front. The Callisto protocol sucks. I don't like it. It's probably one of the most disappointing games I've ever played this year on the December release, mind you, and by Glenn Schofield, the main creator of Dead Space. And, it's again, this, like I said, this is gonna be a rambling review, so if I'm quiet or I just go out into space, it just makes me seether in unfortunate hate and anger over what I feel with this. And yes, you can call it out, be like, oh, you wasted $60 on this, you can't get it back. Yes, I did. I lost $60 over this. I only played this game for 4 hours or so, and I'm already done with it. I just can't get with the gameplay. The story is absolutely terrible. The characters are bare bone. They're like fucking wet Play-Doh. For real. Tell me in hindsight who, if I didn't tell you that the character was Jacob, you have no idea who this character is or what of their purpose. And you look at somebody like Isaac, of course, even without his face in, you see the suit, be like, yeah, that's Isaac Clarke, the engineer. And this guy's like, oh, it's just a guy. That's really what this game is too, is this character is just somebody to put in and then to keep the game going. I don't know how the fuck this game went to the method that it went in, but I felt like maybe it felt almost like a fucking early access game. That's what it felt. And the budget I felt like more went on a graphical technical standpoint. Granted, technical standpoint is saying that very lightly, because this game is unoptimized to shit because of goddamn de novo DRM. Because I have a 1080 Ti set, an RX 1800X, very good CPU GPU combo, right? And it tells me, oh, it's good for the recommended specs. This game lags and stutters to fucking shit. And my friend's Kev, he's got a 2080 Ti. He's got very good or AMD CPU, but probably higher than mine, and it still stutters for him too. Even people who've had 490s, 490 Ti's are having lag tearing issues, and it's ridiculous. Again, it is probably because of that goddamn de novo DRM that it's doing this. And not to mention, okay, let's try to roll back in with this. What is and I put this on with Steam and Twitter. What is we'll do the good, the neutral, and the bad. Okay, what is the good about this game? On a graphical, visual standpoint, this is one of the best looking, even on my 1080 Ti that does low to medium settings. Sorry about that. My throat is a little congested right now. Sorry if I stay quiet like that. But the game has on a graphical, visual standpoint, this is some of the most realistic looking characters I've seen in a video game so far. With Unreal Engine 4 or 5, whichever. And the monsters on a technical standpoint are very cool as well. Maybe honestly a little plain for my taste. I know they're inspired by The Thing, but I don't know. I like the Nevermore's better. But with this, and even then, with the aesthetic alone, with the prison colony and the planet and whatnot, it's it looks amazing. And the visual idea or story standpoint alone, where you're in this giant prison, sounds like a great idea. But we'll go back. That's unfortunately the only good thing I feel that this game has. Let's go with the neutral part. I feel the gravity one, the gravity weapon is okay. So is gunplay. Gunplay is very, very weird, and we'll get to that in a second. But I'll say it like this in a nutshell. If you ever played a Bethesda game, and you're like, Elder Scrolls does an emphasis on melee over range combat, and with Fallout, like range combat over melee combat, yeah, you could kind of see that. Callisto Protocol, they went the Elder Scrolls route, and unfortunately we're gonna go with the bad shit, and I'm gonna say it, the melee combat and the dodging is fucking terrible. I don't care, be like, oh, get good. No, the melee combat is terrible. It's the dodging mechanic especially is terrible. Even if you put on dodge assist, it feels like this, you don't need to cheese it, or you have to like literally fight the mechanics and all that shit just to play the game properly. There should be no in between, honestly, because I hate to compare this game. If you have to, why didn't you just rip off not Dead Space? Why couldn't you just do it like you did with The Last of Us? You got The Last of Us developers who worked on the melee combat for this game, and yet you couldn't put in a dedicated dodge button? Like, really? And, like, because the way that it works, right? So if you press the back, assuming you got a controller, we'll say it like that. Assuming you got a controller, you have to press back to block. If you go left or right, whichever, doesn't matter which, as someone put out some of the reviews, that's when you can dodge. And you're kind of doing this fucking rope-a-dope boxing shit, as like enemies can like melee you and stuff like that. And obviously, like, I believe your melee weapon can get easier, especially if you love to block a lot, and get those perfect blocks. They can stun and make enemies go back a bit. But, and like, I agree with some people on this, is that this game, it works. The combat works, I think, like 1 to 2 enemies max. It's when you put 3, 4, or even 5 enemies, and yes, you won't be fighting around 4 to 5 plus enemies at a time on the later levels of the game, that this feels like absolute bona fide trash. Especially, I don't mean to spoil, but you're in this one segment in the beginning of the game. You got, and you go to the watchtower, to the other side of the watchtower, not the other watchtower. And no shit, like, I believe you get the first stun baton, decently cool weapon, no lie, but we're gonna go into a bit why that kind of sucks too. And then you get your first taste of fighting 4 to 5 enemies at once. It is a pain in the ass. If you ever saw my stream, you go on my second channel, I will still have that VOD up for seeing like my beginning and end journey of Callisto Protocol, but I had to go for that like 4 to 5 times before I had to turn on melee assist, which basically like you hold down the right bumper or trigger, whichever, to help you like swing melee without you having to tab it 3 to 4 times. Honestly, that's fine. I don't care if people say that makes me a noob, whatever. It gave my trigger finger a rest, but it gives you time to like think and dodge, and that's what I kind of told myself. But then later on, it's like that shit doesn't work if you're fighting 4 to 5 enemies and you're in the fucking cramped as fuck area, and Jacob has no other utilities or abilities to fucking dodge. Make sure to keep them out of the way. Yes, you can upgrade to get heavy attack, so then like you could do it, but it doesn't work like for the monsters behind him. It only works on the monsters in front of him, so he can focus on those 1v1 encounters. So honestly, at the beginning, it's trash. But like I said before, why it's a bad thing. Okay, I'll say it like this: the stun baton, while it's a great idea, I feel for a survival horror game, this was the fucking crutch of this game. And what I mean is that if you know how to play this game on a combat, if you're a combat guru, you know how it, and you're loving the game and doing combat, 9 out of 10, you're gonna cheese the fucking game because you're just meleeing almost every fucking enemy in the game. Like, oh, who needs a fucking... granted, the mini bosses and bosses, you do need to use guns, like especially the shotgun. The shotgun you have to use to beat on enemies. Whereas everybody else, you can just fucking cheese it by using the melee weapon. Like, that's not survival horror. That's just cheesing horror the game, you know? Like, you can quote me on that, but this is, that's another thing I hate about this game, is like, its mechanics make it stupidly hard for no reason, but also it can make it stupidly easy if you know how to play it with the melee mechanics. And like I said, with gun combat, it's fine. Like I said, I agree with all the other reviewers. They set this game up so that, unlike Dead Space, you have to use melee 95% of the time to secure kills. At one point, even I thought maybe they would set it up to where you could stealth kill enemies, stealth that, but because again, everything is so fucking cramped, you can't fucking do that. So what's the point of a possible stealth system? And then like you got all these sequences with these loading screens and shit, and then it just feels so boring. I'm like, alright, gotta get for this vent, gotta get for the other vent, gotta squeeze through this door. Like, it's ridiculous. And what else did I want to say? I wanted to say, you know, and gun combat is fine. I do wish the camera was closer, was more in the Dead Space point of view than the way they did it here. It's just too, you know what I mean, right? It's kind of leaning a little farther to the left than I imagine, not like over the shoulder like how Isaac is in Dead Space. It just doesn't work for me personally. And it's like, again, honestly, I don't mind the whole, do a melee combo and then you get like a headshot in and then do like extra damage. That's fine, but again, the game needs some serious rework to make it more of a survival horror. I said before, maybe you could, again, I hate this call with this game, two ways that would have changed the melee and how to make it more survival horror. You can either have the weapon breakable or have it as an energy source, and then either kind of, heck, do it like what you fucking did with the gravity glove. Get a battery, or just let it recharge on its own, you know, as you go through it, so it's not like spammable. But granted, it doesn't freaking matter because the way melee combat works in this game is garbage. So I guess like it's a weird monkey's paw scenario. And speaking of monkey's paw scenarios, I swear to God, I will laugh my fucking ass off if Resident Evil, not Resident Evil 4. I hope Resident Evil 4 remake is good. But if fucking Dead Space remake is better than this fucking game, I will laugh my ass off. I feel bad for Glenn Schofield because I imagine, like, on an artistic design standpoint, is like, he did pretty well. I like most of what the game looks on a visual front. I'll give him that. But as a director, I don't know. I feel like this gameplay standpoint, it's just not good. It's not good at all. And it's kind of, like I said before, it's kind of boring. Like, you go for corridor, and then, here's alternative route, and then that's about it. I mean, yeah, Dead Space did the same thing, but at least, like, the way that its design standpoints puts it with some of this, you're like, that's cool. Sorry about that. And then it goes in, and what happens is really, someone put it best if it go, what's the name, Skill Up. I'll put Skill Up's review of the game too, and down in the description below. Very, very good review. You should check it out. Kind of like, I went for that too. That reviewer definitely kind of opened my eyes and be like, yeah, this game sucks. I can't play it anymore. I severely apologize to people that wanted me to play more of this game, but I can't. I'm probably going to play like Gungrave Gore, probably play some other games too. I might even play Dead Space 3 with my bro, might do some co-op multiplayer horror action with it, whatever. But anyways, back on track. Yeah, the Callisto Protocol has its issues. If we go back in the story, like I said, it's boring. I don't give a shit about the characters. It feels like, it's different from Dead Space because and not to mention that really pisses me off is that this game is like, I called out almost everything that was going to happen in this game the first 4 hours of the game, and I went through like kind of a too long didn't read thing of it, and yeah, exactly what I expected out of this game. So it fucking pisses me off about it. And like I said, it feels like a waste of the actor's time too, because I really like the actor for Jacob. They got the actor who played Starkiller in too. He's cool, you know, decent character. But yeah, like, other than that, yeah, like, it's only got like 4 or 5 characters in this entire game. Like, oh my god. I know Dead Space kind of did differently, but even the audio logs fucking suck. like, I just don't care about it. I really don't care about what happened to these people. Like, oh, it died, haha. Like, it really doesn't, you know. Yeah, it might be different now, but compared to it, it just, it sucks. But overall, I think, like, that's just my rambling rant on it, the Callisto Protocol. My recommendation for it, please do not buy it. It's a waste of money. If you have to, like, get it. Heck, I would say, if you got Game Pass, the first 3 Dead Space games are free with EA Pass. Do not worry about the EA Play thing, whatever. All you gotta do is connect your EA account with it, and you'll be able to play it. So you don't need to worry about paying like $10, $20 a month. You just gotta pay the PC Game Pass from Microsoft, and that's it. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, you can sub to the channel, donate. It helps out so much with my content. Whichever. You go to the second channel I stream. I'll be streaming every day, like I said, from December 1st all the way to January 1st. So once again, thank you everybody so much for watching, and as always, I will see you guys later.